I think they're all very bad ideas.
What if we use a podcast that explained this, but in a cool way?
I'm against all of this. I hope I die before this happens. I think this is horrible.
America is open for business, and we're here to see how far we can sell out before the people push back. This is Fake Focus Group. The great outdoors. The natural splendor of the United States is diverse, awe-inspiring, and potentially up for sale. That's according to the new head of the Bureau of Land Management, who's advocated for selling the land for energy exploration, which most Americans see as a pretty unpopular trade-off. However, we wanted to find out what Americans might be willing to sell out for. Maybe for the internet. Over the past 20 years, internet usage among adults has skyrocketed to 90%, becoming an integral part of our daily lives.
Like, how do you find out anything if you don't have access to the internet?
I got my TV off of there.
My mom's literally always scrolling and posting on Facebook, so that's why I stopped using Facebook.
So we had phony proctor Samir pose as a PR rep for a shady tech company looking to buy out public land in exchange for free universal basic internet. He gathered these two groups of park visitors to gauge their reactions. Just in case people were a little tepid on the idea, we had our man on the inside, Zeke Spector, play devil's advocate.
Has anyone ever ridden on a city bike?
A city bike? Yeah.
Yeah, more like shitty bike. That's fine.
Well, you don't like it?
I don't like the gears. I have my own bike.
Real people, phony services.
What we're here to do today is talk about the park in relation to access to free Wi-Fi for the public. So do you think you value access to public parks more or to the internet more?
Definitely the internet. I really don't think it's a tough question.
If you had to lose access to one, which would it be?
I'm gonna choose parks.
Now in this moment, because of the weather, I can give up parks, but just in general, I need to be around nature.
If nobody got the internet, I would definitely choose parks over like everyone having the internet. But if I'm the only one dropping out of the internet, I think that would be very hard.
So the internet is integral to these groups. With that in mind, it was time to roll out the plan.
The plan is to create a Wi-Fi mesh network of this high-speed gigabit internet. In exchange for taking a portion of the land, we're getting a commitment to nationwide high-speed internet for all. So we're talking about universal basic internet here.
Samir showed off the potential locations for the new plan.
So the Canadian side of Niagara Falls is absolutely beautiful. The United States side looks like, let's say crap. It would be designed so that the water would be coming out of it. You would almost not be able to see the power generator at the American side of the falls. So this was a suggestion, turning Devil's Tower into a survival complex. They're trying to put a massive telescope in Yellowstone Park. They say it's a perfect location. So to put a Hadron Collider in Monument Valley could generate an immense amount of power. It would not obscure Monument Valley as significantly, but it would be in the vicinity of there. Any thoughts on that?
You want to put some facility in the middle of Monument Valley for internet service?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
All of these seem way too intrusive. Any of these, anywhere, would just take away from the integrity of the place.
I think they're all very bad ideas, and I would prefer they all be kept the way they are.
We need that space. As Frank Lloyd Wright said, space affects the soul.
What if we use, like, the internet affects the soul?
Okay, they don't love the choices, but with the chance of free internet for everybody, which iconic landmark would they be willing to sell out?
Well, I would go for the hydroelectric, but not at Niagara Falls.
And I would probably choose Niagara Falls because it's uglier.
None of them.
None of them.
Anyone, honestly, I don't care.
Not much of a consensus on the national parks, but what if we brought it closer to home and offered up a new and improved Central Park to seduce the groups?
The plan is to use the north side of the park for a safe energy exploration. For that, they're gonna give the southern part of the park a facelift.
The goal was simple, to see if people would be willing to give up the northern half of Central Park in exchange for a bogus, free New York internet initiative called PineFi. Just to sweeten the deal, the fictitious partner was going to redesign the southern end of the park and call it the Center of Manhattan Nature Experience, aka COMA for short.
I don't know if anyone's familiar with the Great Lawn. We propose that we update it with a mini stadium almost. Belvedere Castle. Now there's like additional space that they're gonna make for people to stay there, like it's a hotel. It's almost like an Airbnb kind of situation, long-term and short-term guests.
Yeah.
And how do you guys feel? Are you guys on board?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, I can't take any of this seriously.
That's a huge space. No is my answer to that.
Also, you talk about the Great Lawn. Are you aware how sacred space that Great Lawn is?
And we'll make it more sacred.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm sorry, the designer put that stadium, and so I see.
Wait,
No,
so
but
I think the visual is like a little aggressive.
do you think we're tripping out about the stadium?
Yeah. Well,
Girl, Byron, like no.
I'm very skeptical of this. You know, your design skills aside, they just look scary.
I think you guys hate my presentation, but
It's not even.
No,
That's
no,
it.
no, no,
Yeah.
it's
No,
not,
it's not-
again,
like,
no, it's not about
your art
presentation.
concept.
Yeah.
I just feel really
no,
stupid.
No, no,
No,
when
no,
we
it's
showed
nothing
that
against
to
you.
I felt so stupid. I'm sorry.
no,
I hate
no,
myself.
no.
Sorry. I had to say that because like every time I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
Even with the option of free internet for all New Yorkers, the groups remain skeptical of the trade-off for their beloved green space.
I just feel like it's been being put in a really nice package. Meanwhile, there's something sneaky, suspicious going on.
You're gonna take advantage of everyone that agrees to do this.
Should we be giving that amount of power to just one entity?
That's such a great question. They're giving us the infrastructure for this, and it'll be turned over to the government, and they'll manage.
Even better.
You guys were all on board by a show of hands.
Yeah, totally, and then take our rights away. That's cool.
It's just our guy.
It's a dictatorship.
I hope I'm dead and gone before this happens.
It seems like these true blue Americans were suspicious to sell out to a seedy corporation, even for the most seductive sales scenario.
Just final comment cards. Look, be brutally honest if you want to.
Really, you think?
Considering their comments, it doesn't seem like it'll happen anytime soon.
Absolutely not.
Internet is like the eighth wonder of the world.
There already is an eighth wonder of the world, so.
I think this is like a hoax or of some sort.
I hope so, because that's super scary.